Left, right, do it, left. What's good, fam? It's your boy dwayzeonblaze. You know the name, you know the face, you know the time, you know the place. And today we're back again with a brand new react. Matter of fact, guys, Tony Dayimane becomes the youngest SA artist to reach 1 million monthly listeners. Oh my God, Tony, you did it. You done it, my boy. Look, guys, Tony's doing amazing things, guys. His album, his project, nice, clean. It felt like he wasn't trying to go really a mainstream route with it. It really represented who he was as a person. Let's get into it, guys. This is OK Swisher. Right? Shout out Swisher. It's me, Dwaze. Like, comment, and subscribe, please.
How try to
you start middle of the thing, bro. I engage, bro. Wanna get mine? I wanna get mine, Jay. Hi, guys.
Not a lot of people reach 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Congratulations to Tony Dayimane becoming the youngest South African artist to do so. And this got me into a rabbit hole into trying to find out how many artists have reached this milestone. And I saw that there's a couple who have but have fallen off, aka he had 1 million, now he's on 500,000. And
how can he say aka has fallen off, bruh? The nigga passed away, my brother. Hey, boo.
Also Saudi, he's also on 500,000. A couple of artists that are still on 1 million are Casper Vest, he's still on 1 million. In fact, he's on 1.1 million. Questa Nasty C on 1.3 million. This is big for Tony Dayimane to share the spotlight with these OGs, bro. I mean, being amongst the people who have 1 million listeners, monthly listeners on Spotify is crazy.
Let me give you a simple example as to why I believe Tony Dayimane is in this position. It's because Tony Dayimane is in that rare situation where he's kind of like the next man of the main guy who's Usimamane. So it's like Usimamane's right hand. But then he's so talented and so good at what he does that, you know, he capitalizes on that sort of, like, I don't want to say leftover success, but that, you know, that spotlight of Usimamane, he capitalizes because he's actually dope. He's actually talented. He can actually do something. So therefore, people are like, you know what? If I mess with Usimamane, I mess with Tony too. You know what I mean? So I do think he benefits from that, but he's still a dope, talented artist. I can't deny that.
And this guy, you have to remember that 5 years ago, we did not know who Tony Dayimane is or what he offers us, and now he's
even
one of the
4 years
biggest
ago
artists in South Africa. That proves that if you are consistent in what you're doing and you are great and you constantly improve, you are gonna be sharp. Your worth is gonna show, and rightfully we have to celebrate and give him his props. And I saw his friend Usimamane. He was in the studio with Dollar, a young kid, Dollar, 16-year-old.
Aren't they cousins? Or do they just say that like, oh, that's my cousin, that's my twin? They're just homies, I don't know.
Who comes from my hometown, Queenstown, and I don't know if you've been online, but you should have been seeing him dropping some freestyles and wearing a cap. Sometimes he's not wearing a cap, but you can hear his bars and how he's effortlessly flowing. Usimamane decided yesterday that, you know what, let me cook up and actually push the youth as Dollar is up next. Please watch out for that. And I wanna actually dive deep into the Spotify monthly listeners and actually try to compare other artists to Tony Dayimane and the likes of Nasty C, who also have 1 million. So the closest is also King Kid. King Kid took me by surprise. He has over 800,000 monthly listeners.
This is another strange one as well. And I'll say strange only in the sense that as much as I mess with King Kid and I think he's a dope lyricist, another reason why I think his listeners are so high is because people are confusing King Kid and K Kid. So some people are going to say, oh, K Kid, and then they go to King Kid. And some people, like, I feel like he's also benefiting from that. And another thing about Kane Kid, he's also controversial, right? Like this is why social media is so key to you as an artist, because Kane Kid is all over social media. He's in vlogs. He's on he's said controversial things on podcasts. He's beefing with vloggers and all this type of stuff, beefing with YouTubers. Like, he's really tapped into what's going on. And that's why I feel it reflects in his monthly listeners, because Kane Keed, like, bro, Kane Keed is always in some sort of story, some sort of, like, it's always like he's creating that controversy, he's creating that interest. Everyone's always like, why is Kane Keed saying this? Or, Kane Keed did this. Or, look how Kane Keed was dressed when he was wearing that. Like, I don't know what fit this man was wearing this other time. But, hey, blessings, more life to this man.
Kane Keed is a new brew in the industry, and so many monthly
This guy
listeners,
came like
it's
2 years ago.
inevitable for him that if he can drop a tape, it is gonna go up. I hope he does well with that said tape as well. And
Now, also, Kane Keed done put in work too. Let me not dispute that now.
And another artist that was a shocker for me is
There's the
Usimamane. He has 600,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Spotify is just Spotify. You have other platforms where
Wait, what? Wait, what? How does Usimamane have less listeners on Spotify than Tony? How does that make sense? What? So does that mean my theory is wrong then? Because I said he's getting some of the clout from Usimamane, that association. But how he doing more numbers than him? What? But then wait, Usimamane is out. Their projects, they didn't even come out too far apart, right? Wait, when did Usimamane's project come out, bro? Was that middle of last year? Yo, I can't even remember things anymore. Anyway, my bad.
where your music is also performing well. 600,000 is a huge feat, because just below him is blxckie with 550,000. Wow, this comes as a shocker because
I'm just shocked, bro. What's going on, bro? Like, I get it, bro. Like, I get it that these guys are newer, so their listeners might be younger and more tapped into streaming more often. But it surprises me that Tony's doing so much more better. Double the monthly listeners than blxckie. Hebana. Bro, what's happening to blxckie, guys? Do you know what I actually think blxckie's problem is? blxckie trying to make some other type of music, bro. Like some other type of music, bro. blxckie needs to go back to his roots, bro. Come back, blxckie, to the heartfelt R&B. Not this R&B of just, I don't know, blxckie's new R&B. It just feels like, it almost feels like American R&B and then slap back blxckie on it. I don't know how to explain that. And then blxckie's trap, like, it's just too, bro, he needs a balance, bro. blxckie's not an underground brew anymore, bro. This guy be making underground things. He must leave that for SoundCloud, bro. Leave that for SoundCloud. You see the songs, blxckie's biggest misstep, where I say, bro, he fumbled, was when he didn't push Envy Me as a single. Do you know how far Envy Me could have gone, bro? Like, he didn't even push that shit. That shit was heat, bro. That was a banger, bro. Oh, bro, this guy didn't do anything, bro. This guy just left it, bro. I was like, nah, blxckie, man. You see, that was where the fumble started for me. And then he pushed that other song, Girl, Put Your Back Into It. Girl, put your back into it. I was like, bro, what is this, bro? Envy Me was that shit. And after Envy Me, I just really haven't seen another hip-hop banger from blxckie. He put the Sprite one out, but that had a little, Sprite push sauce on it. We can't really say it naturally and organically. Bro, that song, and it all goes out, and it all out. Bro, that song was everywhere on the socials, bro. Everywhere. So that had a little stimulus too. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's carry on.
wow, I did not expect Kane Keed to have
More
monthly
listeners than blxckie.
both Usimamane and blxckie, but
That's
here
crazy.
we are.
Something's wrong with Spotify. I'm sorry, bro. These metrics, I'm sorry. How do they make sense, bro? But that's what I'm saying, bro. I feel like this social presence thing is becoming more than the actual music itself. Because Kane Keed, all these guys who have more than monthly listeners, they seem to be very tapped in socially. blxckie has lost that social tap in. blxckie's not as social as he used to be. Like, or maybe I just don't catch, but it just doesn't. blxckie used to be so tapped in socially, and the numbers would reflect. Now blxckie feels a little bit somehow withdrawn from social media a bit. Like, it's definitely not like it used to be. So maybe that reflects too with the numbers. Kane Keed heavily on social media. K Keed heavily on social media. Nasty C still heavily on social media. All these guys with 1 million followers. Tony Dayimane always dropping on social media, always on socials. Usimamane, okay, we can say is always that one. I don't understand, bro. How does Tony Dayimane have more listeners than Usimamane? What's happened? Whoa.
He does. And another one who surprised me was Maglera. He had 400,000. I thought he would be.
This also doesn't make sense to me too. Like, the hierarchy is changing, clearly. But I always say we can't just go off Spotify. Like Sush said, bro. There's other platforms that might. Maybe some people just. Maybe Maglera's listeners are bougie and they only listen on Apple Music. They don't be doing that flip in Spotify. You know? Because a lot of South African artists too get a lot of streams on Apple Music. I don't think Spotify is really the. I don't know. Is this like a main marketplace for Spotify, bro? I don't really think so. I think people here are snobby. They like Apple Music. Like, I got both just because I found myself in that situation. But honestly, I prefer Apple Music. I prefer Apple Music only because for me, it just sounds, the quality sounds better for some reason on Apple Music. It just sounds better. Even songs that are bad quality sound better on Apple Music. On Spotify, it's like you gotta go to all these settings, HD 3000, VX5, just to make the audio crystal pristine clear. Even when you upload a song as an artist on Spotify, hey, make it pop, bro. That playback is pop. Apple Music even boosts your quality. You're like, damn, I mixed it like this. Anyway, I'm so off track. I'm so sorry.
At least double that. However, now that he's signed, I know that he's gonna have a big push, especially
that's another thing. Labels.
The sophomore album that's gonna drop hopefully this year in 2025. And hey Reese, I went to Spotify. Mind me, guys, this is my first time downloading.
Wait, sophomore. Is sophomore the second album? It is, nah? No. It's your first album, your debut. Yeah, sophomore second album. Maglera dropped his sophomore, né? Wasn't it Maglera tapes? Wasn't that a sophomore album? Was that a mixtape?
Loading Spotify and actually deeping how much of a great app it is. Y'all should have plugged me by, man. Leave Apple Music and go to Spotify, or just do both. Anyway,
both is better. Let me tell you why I like Spotify. Because Spotify, you can find everything so easily, bro. And Spotify, it sticks to your tastes better. Like, it knows the realms you dive in. Apple Music just give you everything. Like, yeah, take it. This is what's hot right now. Take it. Whereas Spotify is more catered to you, you know, to what you like. It recommends more things that are personalized to you. That's why I like personally Spotify. I just don't like the quality of Spotify. Even when you put it on the highest audio, I just don't feel like the quality is there. Maybe I'm just hating. My ears don't want to connect to Spotify. I don't know, bro.
This has 250,000 monthly listeners.
These numbers don't make sense, bro.
App. And it's just the Spotify app. It doesn't represent.
But Reese is big on Apple Music.
But it does also represent how much reach that you have.
Yeah, who's that on?
Oh, artist, and 1 million for
it is hard.
Tony Dayimane becoming the youngest artist in South Africa to do that. Props my cheetah. You as an artist as well, you should be motivated and inspired to know that it's possible for you too. The fast rise got Tony Dayimane, because I remember when he dropped the film, everyone was going crazy for that song and they wanted more from Tony, and he did not disappoint with his Big Boy EP, which also broke records, by the way. But now that he dropped his album, that settles it, bro. I think if he can be marketed more and actually be pushed, I know he's independent, actually be pushed more, he could be in contention of the best rapper in South Africa this year, bro. What are your thoughts? Not a lot of people.
Yeah, man. With Tony Dayimane, I do think that he can definitely be up there. Him, kindlynxsh. Yeah, they seem to be getting numbers, bro. Cause Nash, especially on YouTube, Nash killing it right now. So yeah, bro, it's crazy because if you think of the rises now, I'm not gonna say Nash's rise was overnight, right? But the way it happened for Nash, it's one of those things that could have happened at any time because Nash has been grinding, and he grinded, but he never really had a fan base. But once he dropped Ace Chief, shit went crazy, bro. Shit went crazy for him. So it's like if you see the rises now are more instant. It's like we always have this delay, like, when it comes to culture with America. Like we're tapped into American culture, Western culture, but like the trends don't trickle down to us immediately. Like streaming culture, as soon as streaming culture picked up there in like what 2017, 18, I'm talking about video streaming or live streaming, right? It didn't pick up here only until recently. Only until like last year did people really start becoming streamers in South Africa. Last year and maybe the year before, but it took a while. So there's always this delay. So we've also never had this thing of instantaneously popping, or like there has been artists like MT or whatever who had one song and it just blew up. But nowadays I feel like it's becoming a thing where one song can really in South Africa now give you motion. I don't know about money though, because back in the days one song could get you the house, the car, everything. One song now could get you the clout and the motion. But the money, hey, the coins, brother. Hey, yo, wait, whoa, wait. Here on. So, hey, I don't know, bro. But I will say congrats to Tony. Shout out to Nash. These Spotify numbers are kind of crazy to me. I won't lie to you, bro. These Spotify numbers are wild. Like, there's such an imbalance. It feels like the newer guys are taking over, bro. Your Kane Keys, your K Keys, Tony Dayimanes, like, these guys seem to be killing the streams, bro. Magleras are down there at 400k, blxckies are at 500k. Like, hey, what's going on, brother? But let's see. It's only the beginning of the year, so relax, take it easy. I'll catch you in the next one. It's your boy, dwayzeonblaze.